It's your Market's Edge right here on the early line. Love to see it on a Wednesday. It's time to get involved in a little NBA action tonight with a triple header. We'll talk some Major League Baseball as well as a monster game in my hometown of Philadelphia. We like to bring it to the people. I'm Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Ranieri, and these topics are good. Why? Because we're investing in markets, Joe, from a stock market mentality. Love to see it.
Listen, there is plenty of opportunities here in these markets, especially during the postseason, Donnie, where we had favorites going down 3-1, like Edmonton last night, who ended up winning. And boy, you could have gotten them at a ridiculous price in the predictive markets in just one win, Donnie. So we have that coming up again tonight. So some pretty fun markets to discuss here.
What they have in the Wolf of Wall Street? Investors Center, Joe, selling off the pink sheets. Not what we're doing here, people. Completely legal and with Kalshi. Let's have some fun and dip into it in the NBA. The Magic and the Pistons are going to take place tonight in Motown, 7 p.m. start. The brink of elimination for the Detroit Pistons. If they lose this game, Joe, they go home as the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. I don't think that's happening tonight. And by the way, on the predictive markets, they don't think that's happening either. Why? Detroit to win this game outright, Joe, currently at a 76% chance. The contract to the yes is at 77 cents, which means a $100 investment on the Pistons just winning this game pays back $130. If you feel the Pistons can win this game roughly by double digits, that's currently trading at 48 cents, which means a $100 investment pays back $209. Backs against the wall in Motown. Pistons and the Magic tonight, Joe.
So a lot is going to be made about whether Franz Wagner can play or not play. But quite honestly, Franz Wagner's got absolutely nothing to do with what the Magic are doing defensively to disrupt Jalen Duren and his pick-and-roll partner here, Cade Cunningham, because there is a reason why the turnovers are through the roof. There is a reason why Jalen Duren can't get out of his own way, because he can't get easy dunks. They are basically the Magic throwing everything they have to disrupt Duren, and it's quite obvious that Cade Cunningham in Detroit has no answer for what to do here. So, as much as I want to look at a side, I'm not comfortable laying that many points, Donnie, here, but I am comfortable, it feels like, in looking at maybe an under, because some things are not going to change. The offense of Detroit is still bad, and the Magic got a little worse offensively if Wagner doesn't go. So, yeah, to me, I think the unders across the board and fading Jalen Duren's point prop is the way to look.
Big-time players got to step up in big-time games. We're talking about Cade Cunningham. 30-plus points tonight on the Kalshi Marketplace. Show that a $100 investment will pay back $213 tonight. Double-digit favorites here for the Detroit Pistons. We'll see if they can get the job done here. Let's take a look at the Raptors and the Cavaliers. A 7:30 start tonight and a 2-2 series. And as well as best of 3 now, games 5, 6, and 7. We'll see where it goes. If we are taking a look at this game itself, to win it outright, Joe, Cleveland currently trading on the Kalshi Marketplace at a 75% chance to win that game. A $100 investment on the Cavaliers winning outright pays $132. If you feel the underdog Toronto Raptors, who've been really good this series, can win this outright, a $100 investment, Joe, that payback $400 tonight. Raptors, Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, experience matters in the postseason, Donnie, and we've talked about it. We just watched the New York Knicks in a pivotal Game 5 at home. We saw what experience can do for you. Well, that's what Donovan Mitchell brings to the table in this Cavs team. They have been here and done this before, coming off one of the worst games, basketball games on both sides I have ever seen. But we've seen Donovan Mitchell in Game 5s in Cleveland before, and he usually dominates them, Donnie, because he understands what's going on here. And I think you're going to see another big Donovan Mitchell game here tonight to elevate the Cavs at home. I'd look at his points and look at going up and over. 26.5, I think, is his point prop. You want to talk about a 30-plus point game? This is the kind of game Donovan Mitchell will have tonight.
How about this next game here? Rockets and the Lakers. Late night tonight, 10 o'clock start in L.A. Los Angeles wins, they move on. If the Rockets wins, they extend this series. They won't have Kevin Durant tonight, but the bigger question for the Lakers is game time decision. Great show here on the network, 6 to 7 p.m. But also understand that Austin Reeves expected to be back in the lineup. We'll find out a little bit later today. If we're looking at the Kalshi marketplace, a 62% chance, Joe, that Los Angeles is going to win this game outright, which a $100 investment would pay back $159. If you feel the Lakers can win by 4+ points, that's currently trading right now, Joe, at 54 cents to the yes. A $100 investment pays back $186. Rockets and Lakers, Tinseltown, game 5 tonight.
Yeah, so I would look at the series market and I would bet the Houston Rockets right now. Because if the Houston Rockets win this game here tonight, Donnie, then I can assure you whatever it is that you can grab the Rockets for right now, which is really what? I mean, pennies on the dollar, I believe. I'm looking at 12 cents right now, Donnie. You can get the Rockets to win the series. Yeah, that is going to get much better if they win this game and then have to go back for another game in Houston, which is exactly the way I would play this, because I think Houston has an absolute shot at winning this game and extending this series.
Alperen Şengün, game number 1, 19 points. Game number 2, 20 points. Game number 3, 33 points. Game number 4, 19 points. If you feel he scores 25 or more points tonight, Joe, a $100 investment there on a player prop would pay back $244. Little afternoon baseball action between the Marlins and the Dodgers. Rubber match today with a great pitching performance by Junk last night on the mound for those Marlins against Ohtani. We'll see if they can do the same today. Alcantara is on the mound for those pesky Marlins. They're currently trading at a 33% chance to win this game. A $100 investment on the underdogs to do it again, Joe, would pay back $304. But the Dodgers currently yes to winning this game. That contract sits at 68 cents. A $100 investment pays back $148. Afternoon action at 3:10 Eastern. Marlins Dodgers, Joe.
Yeah, it feels like not a lot of runs, Donnie, in this game here with these two on the mound. And that's the way I would approach it. Kind of getaway game, afternoon baseball, noon start, I believe, out west, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, these two starting pitchers have a huge advantage, I think, over these lineups. I'll be looking at unders here today.
Sandy Alcantara to record 5+ strikeouts on the Kalshi marketplace, Joe. Not too bad. Currently trading at 51 cents here, which means a $100 investment pays back $197 to get 5 or more Ks today. All of those player props available here on these marketplaces. Certainly check those out. Game of the night tonight, Joe, in Philadelphia. The Battle of the Keystone State. Game number 6. Didn't think we'd get here. Maybe the Flyers thought they could close out in game 4. Game 5 couldn't do it. Now they'll try again tonight. Game number 6, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If we're looking at the marketplace right now, Kalshi, the Flyers are the slight favorite at 52% chance to win this game. The Penguins at 48%. Now, Joe, I know you're lying to the public out here telling me that the Flyers could be in trouble tonight. I know you don't believe that.
Well, the Flyers could very well be in trouble here tonight. Experience, does it matter? Well, we're going to find out here tonight in this one as Pittsburgh has finally rallied around and put it together. You know, Donnie, in these games, in these elimination games, I always like to lean towards the over in goals, right? Because let's face it, if whoever is down, especially Pittsburgh, yeah, they're pulling the goalie with 5, so we could have a whole lot of extra goals here when it's all said and done. I like the over here tonight in this spot, and hopefully for your Flyers, they're the ones doing most of the scoring.
If we're taking a look, too, Joe, here, the point total in this game, as it's listed on Kalshi, over 5.5 goals is trading currently at 53%. Has a chance to get that done. The contract's at 54 cents. So if you feel 6 goals or more tonight, as Joe pointed out, a $100 investment does pay back $186. And also, you can extend that. And Joe is right. What's the point if you're down 6-3, you pull your goal and they make it 7-3? I don't know. Just keep the goalie out there again so you can try to come back. And if you give up another goal, it doesn't matter, which means over 6.5 goals tonight, Joe. That's a 42-cent contract here. A $100 investment pays back $239. You're down 3-1, Joe late. Hey, easily got that under. Wait, how did this game end up a lot closer and a lot more goals? Because as Joe said, you might pull the goalie with 5 minutes to go in this game.
Yeah, exactly correct, Donnie. And that's going to happen in a lot of these elimination games. So I would lean towards the overs and more of them.
Haven't had any overtime action just yet. Could it be in game number 6? If you bet it to the no, Joe, it's actually 84 cents. A $100 bet or $100 investment would pay back $120 if the game doesn't go to OT. More hot topics on the way next on PME.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for what it is, right? And is it their fault? You could, they've been just besieged and Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like 2, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer in the world. How many majors will he win this year? And if he does get 4, Joe, that's currently trading at 3 cents. So a $100 investment actually only pays back $333 at this point, which is kind of insane when you ask him to win all 4. Joe, I told you already, sticking to my guns. $100 investment on no majors. None over the next 4 this year.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
NHL round 1 going strong right now, Joe. Let's take a look at some of these markets that you can invest in, which means not just the winner of the game, Joe, but the winner of the series itself. Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning, fantastic series. Currently tied 2-2. But on the trading markets here on Kalshi, the Tampa Bay Lightning to win this series, Joe, currently trading at 62% here. 63 cents is the contract, which means a $100 investment if you feel the Lightning can win the series. Pays back $159. Those Canadians at 38 cents here. Why? Home ice advantage does matter. The favorites are the Tampa Bay Lightning here, but a fantastic series so far. Game 5, pivotal. We know that here. But how are we looking, Joe? Is it the Canadiens? Can they come back as the dog here? Or is it the Lightning, even though the series is tied? They should be good to go because the game's mostly in their building.
This has been the tightest series of them all in the first round here. We've had awesome 8 matchups here, and this has been by far the most entertaining and the craziest with all these overtime spots that we have had. And mathematically, when you look at the stats, Donnie, these 2 teams finished with 106 points on the season, and they are almost identical across the board. Shots on goal, saves, power play. Go across, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find anything separating these 2 teams. The only thing that separates them is experience. And obviously, Tampa, having been here and done this before on their own home ice with Vasilevsky in goal, and I get why the market is favoring Tampa, but call me crazy here, Donnie. If Montreal actually, and they've done a great job all series of matching them, can actually pull off the upset here tonight, there is that series market is looking better and better at that price point with the Montreal Canadiens right now. I can tell you that.
Keep it on Couch here. Series winner for this is the Minnesota Wild versus the Dallas Stars. Did you know Minnesota leads this series, Joe, 3-2, and are the heavy favorites to close out those Dallas Stars? They're currently trading at 73% as a chance to do that. The Dallas Stars, if you feel they can mount a comeback, which means winning games 6 and 7, that's only at 27% right now. The Dallas Stars underperforming in the playoffs. Where have we said that before? The Wild, Joe, Are they going to win this, or is there any value in taking a yes contract out on those Stars?
Well, listen, Minnesota has been the better team in this series for longer stretches. And Dallas, once again, goes home and can't get it done on their own home ice. But that's par for the course. And we said it. I mean, don't forget, this game here has been back and forth. We've had just when Dallas couldn't look any worse, all of a sudden they come back, Donnie, and they look like world beaters. It is that close this series. And it feels like it had 7 games written all over it. So as far as I'm concerned, Dallas having that 7th game back home, they have been there. They have done this. Ottinger's been there and done this. It feels like they'll get the win on the road, and they'll be right back with a chance to close it out. So I like Dallas's chances still to win this series.
Boston got smoked in game number 4, returned the favor in game number 5 with an overtime victory to stave off elimination to force a game number 6 back in Boston. But now we take a look at the series winner here. It's still going to be a heavy favorite here towards the Buffalo Sabres. Currently trading, Joe, at 79 cents as a chance for them to get the job done. Boston at 21%. Do we think that Boston can return home and force a game number 7? Or as Cam Stewart came on earlier, like he already bet it, Sabres to win game number 6. He's not worried, Joe. Are you? Is it just the Sabres moving on, or maybe a chance to invest in those Boston Bruins?
Well, if the Sabres are going to win it, they better be they got to somehow figure out how to score on a power play, Donnie. I think the Sabres have gone 0 for 17 with a man advantage this series. And, I mean, they even came into the playoffs without being able to convert on 22 straight chances with a man advantage here. So they're going to have to do it with 5-on-5, which you and I both know is a lot more difficult here. And it's not going to take a lot for the Bruins, maybe to steal one at home and get it back to a game 7. I think you're going to see a huge effort from Buffalo here, but hard to trust them when they can't score with a man advantage. And we just saw the old man Pasternak get it done for Boston. Yeah. Experience matters, Donnie.
One of the worst power plays in hockey. That's my Philadelphia Flyers, which you got to take advantage of the extra man in the playoffs. It's how you win games with special teams here. Flyers and the Penguins series winner. After the game that just got played there in Pittsburgh, you had a 75% chance for the Philadelphia Flyers to still win this series. Looking at the trading market on Kalshi today, it's actually down 2%, Joe, to 73%, but the Flyers still the heavy favorite. Why? Game number 6 in their own building. If they don't win that game, then it does go back to Pittsburgh, where the Flyers have already won 2 games. But the Flyers don't want this going back to Pittsburgh here, because then you turn the favorite side into the Pittsburgh Penguins. We talked about a series in the NBA, Joe, with the Nuggets. That's okay. You know what? There's some injuries out here and a chance for them to come back. They're actually the favorites now in that series to win it over Minnesota. Do you view it the same as the Penguins here? Is 27% enough to say, I think they can win tonight, and then I have a guaranteed profit in my pocket if we just make it to game number 7?
Yeah, well, that's what you need to do, right? You got to get it to a game 7, which means you got to win tonight, and it is a coin flip here tonight. So any value that you might have on Pittsburgh, if it's better than even money on the money line, Donnie, it's worth it, because you don't need them to win the series. They're going to be the favorites heading back home in a game 7, right? So you don't necessarily need them to win the series. You just need the market to reprice them like they will if they can win here tonight. I think that's a pretty good way to go here in this spot.
Out west, Anaheim Ducks and the Edmonton Oilers here. That series currently 3-2 with Anaheim in the lead. And now you see, okay, Edmonton Oilers stave off elimination, but also still a heavy favorite in the series are the Ducks at 68%. Edmonton currently trading at 32%. I can never give up on the Edmonton Oilers, but now going back there, I think is in game number 6 and then back to 7 here for the Oilers. What gives in this series, Joe? Is it enough to take Edmonton, or just looking to close it out with Anaheim?
Again, experience. I expect a lot of these games, Donnie, to go to 7. Even with teams down. You saw what they were made of last night, Edmonton, to stave off elimination and get it back. I still think that's a ridiculously cheap price for a team that has Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl allotted. Sorry, I'll still take Edmonton here, thinking this thing gets back to 7.
Thursday night, 10 o'clock, Ducks home ice advantage. We'll see if they can close out that series here. How about this next one, Joe? Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup before 2031. Not a lot of Canadian teams, a lot of American teams. I don't think they do win a Stanley Cup before 2031. Joe, what are you thinking there? Taking the
no. Yeah, it's not going to happen because if Edmonton couldn't do it, nobody else is doing it here, Donnie. Not these teams.
By the way, taking it here at 50 cents to the no. $100 investment pays back $200. We'll be right back.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for this, right? And is it their fault? You could, they've been just besieged and Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you like two, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer in the world. How many majors will he win this year? And if he does get 4, Joe, that's currently trading at 3 cents. So a $100 investment actually only pays back $333 at this point, which is kind of insane when you ask him to win all 4. Joe, I told you already, sticking to my guns. $100 investment on no majors. None over the next 4 this year.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Joe, we love having fun here on Predictive Markets Edge right here on the Early Line. It's Donnie right said, it's Joe Ranieri. It's how we have some fun, but also bringing the information to the public just like we do on the Early Line. How about this? A little PME. Public fade? Ooh, the question we asked, Joe, is not actually like which way are we going to fade, but which actual topic do the people want to get down with, Joe? Which market would you like to see on PME tomorrow? This was from yesterday. Bitcoin price by Friday? Nah. Starbucks earning call? Who cares about a cup of Joe? Well, we really do care about a cup of Joe and getting caffeinated on the Early Line. But number 1 song on Spotify? Nope. Gasoline price in April here. Come on, Joe. 100%, absolutely. That's where the public wants to go.
Yeah, well, it's obvious that's a topic of conversation, Donnie, across the country right now. So now you have to decide whether or not there's any value in order to be able to profit inside of these markets here. And there's a few different ways to approach it for sure.
It wasn't that bad, Joe. About a month and a half ago, gas prices were good. Interest rates were trending lower. And then we get tangled up in Iran. And also, here's what I love, Joe. I like to start with the preamble at this point, right? So invasion of Iran, can't have a nuclear weapon, which, energy prices are going to rise up. But here's the thing I never understand. If energy prices are rising up, should that mean that the gas companies are saying, man, it's really expensive to get this gas. We got to pass it on to the consumer. But every time this happens, Joe, the gas companies make a record profit. I go, wait, how are you making a record profit if your prices are going up and you have to charge us more? It means their prices are the same and they just rise it on speculation, Joe. I can't stand that here. It ain't right.
Welcome to the markets, Donnie, and that's exactly how it rolls. I mean, you've got the current reality this month is gas prices are sitting around anywhere between $4.10 to $4.18 nationally, right? And you mentioned it. You got the tensions in the Middle East. You got refinery outages. You got crude oil barrels, near $100+. So,
over now.
when you look at some of these markets right now, they forecasted the average for April to be around $4.30. And that's basically right around where this market is hovering. So, we're asking, is this level going to hold? Or is this going to drop or go up? I don't know how much more room it can go up, but I think we're at the point, Donnie, where the only way to look here is back down.
And by the way, even today, Joe, as I look, it's up to almost $104 on the crude oil futures today, which is up about 4%, which means tomorrow we're probably going to get another increase as it stands. In my area in New Jersey, Joe, we don't have a really high gas tax. But at the same time, I'm seeing 425s out there in the marketplace, which we haven't seen in years at this point. I remember 08, 09, we were up about $5 plus a gallon, which is ridiculous. But now you look at the Kalshi marketplace, U.S. gas prices this week, the forecast to be above nationally on the average at $4.30. I'm taking the yes. I don't care it's at 71 cents here. $100 investment pays back $141 as I look at that gas prices going higher. We might get that tomorrow, Joe.
Well, again, you've got to decide, are prices continuing to peak or are they stabilizing at this point? Because the prices surged quickly, and we know this. But, there are signs and indicators that maybe this is the peak for this month, right? I mean, that's what we're looking at right now. So above 426, above 427, I mean, that's where prices already are, around that range on average. So I think I'm kind of with you, Donnie. I believe they kind of hold at that level here for at least the next week or so. And then once we head into May, well, that's a different conversation.
And also, gas prices in the U.S. this month will basically be, is that over 30 days, I want to see, or is this just on the month? Just on the month of April. So this week and basically this, month in gas and week are the same thing. The question is going to be how high do gas prices get this year? But understand this, too. Market manipulation is a big thing, Joe. All it takes is one tweet from a president to say, Strait of Hormuz is open tomorrow, and away you go, and it absolutely plummets because we've seen it. Again, talking about the crude oil futures right now at around $104, we were as low in those mid-70 ranges once we had those ceasefires and agreements here. But the minute they go away, Joe, boom, speculation just sends those higher.
Yeah, and of course, Donnie, but you also have to understand that whether or not what you're betting on isn't really the price. You're betting on whether or not you think it either holds its level or if it still hasn't peaked. And that's really the question you've got to ask in these markets is, do you think it holds steady, or do you think that it's already peaked and the only place it's going from here is down?
And also, when you're politically motivated here, as the Republicans would be, they want to stay in power. It's your job to get these gas prices lower and probably bend some of the rules. The reason I say that is, Joe, this year, if gas stays under $5, which is probably the trigger point, the no contract is 37 cents, which a $100 investment will pay back $271. It doesn't serve any political party to go to $6 a gallon. You'll be out of there, Congress, whatever the House, faster than you know it.
Yeah, well, you got some options in these markets to take advantage of the peaking while you can.
Feisty PME today. Join us once again on a Thursday. Have a good afternoon.
The process is closed. Let's call it out for this, right? And is it their fault? You could, they've been just besieged and Embiid, but it just continues, Kevin, right? As soon as he's like, don't worry about my health, and then here we are, right? I would have traded him a couple of years ago. I would have gotten ahead of the curve, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
At the end of the day, LeBron's going to have to put that team on his back. Can he do it? I don't know if he could do it for a 7-game series. Can he give you two, oh my goodness, LeBron at 31? Yeah, I think he can give you a couple of those games. But it's about the other guys that have to step up.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Scottie Scheffler, the best golfer in the world. How many majors will he win this year? And if he does get 4, Joe, that's currently trading at 3 cents. So a $100 investment actually only pays back $333 at this point, which is kind of insane when you ask him to win all 4. Joe, I told you already, sticking to my guns. $100 investment on no majors. None over the next 4 this year.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
You build teams in the second, third, and fourth round, right, Donnie? Yeah. That's where you build. That's where you get the depth. That's where you build the team. So teams looking for draft capital very much could be alive and well in this draft coming up because there's just nobody to mortgage the future for because you need your franchise guy. They're just not in this draft.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.